What's up everyone, Trevor here, Tag Performance and Nutrition, and today we are going to talk a little bit about and build off the last few episodes kind of on that creativity aspect of training, the variability, the variety, adding variety in your training. And I've been reading Rob Gray's second, I believe it's the second book, the second in the series anyway, of movement, and this one's learning to optimize movement. And one of the best points I think I heard or read about in there is that the open invitation, and he talks kind of about like a empty yard, or where there's a sidewalk leading your path to the next sidewalk to the street or wherever you're going, but then there's that whole empty yard, and it's giving you that open invitation. You think of the kids going out and playing. They're not going to walk on the sidewalk. They're going to cut the grass. They're going to run through the grass, roll in the grass, find a shortcut to get there. And it's that open invitation. There's nothing saying, don't do this, or you have to do it this way. And I want you to start thinking of the gym. As you can see, we're in the gym today, in our gym. I want you to start thinking of that as an open invitation. Think of the tools, the equipment we use in here as an open invitation. Use that imagination, use that creativity, and have an open invitation. And maybe you're struggling to use your imagination right now and think of, what do I mean by open invitation? Like I said with the yard or the sidewalk there, yeah, you can walk nice and straight down the sidewalk, follow that path, or you can see that grass area as an open invitation to cut across it. The mailman, I see him every day whenever I'm home. He doesn't use the sidewalk. He cuts across the grass. He sees that as an open invitation to get to the mailbox a little quicker or a different way. In the winter, I'll plow a path for him so he doesn't have to trench through the snow. So that's a different way. He doesn't have to follow the sidewalk. So think of that as an open invitation. It's giving you an invitation. There's no set rules. There's no set way you have to do anything, especially with our body, with our movement. Another example I like to use, I made a post about this, or I'm making a post, I don't know when this post will come out, compared to this episode of a playground. What do you see at the playground? Oh, a slide to go down, pull the slide down, some stairs to climb up. But then you actually watch kids on the playground. Sure, they might slide down the slide every once in a while, but they're crawling up the slide. They're crawling on top of the slide. They're jumping off the top of the playground. They're climbing up the fire pole. They're doing what's not necessarily what is supposed to be done on the equipment, and then they're getting in trouble at school, which is dumb. Because the playground is meant for play. It's meant to use their imagination, their creativity, that open invitation. It's inviting them to do something, whatever their mind can think of, really. And that's what I want. I think the gym needs to be more of that too. Whether, you're just stuck in that old meathead philosophy. I got a barbell axle, I got a bench, got a deadlift. That's all you can use the barbell for. And that's just the barbell. I think the barbell is an open invitation to a ton of other things. Sure, yeah, you can do the squats, the bench presses, the hinges, the deadlifts, the rows, those types of things with a barbell. But there's a ton of other stuff you can do. You don't even need to use it for those. You can use it for a landmine. So you can open invitation to use the barbell with however your mind sees fit. If it's making you progress, it's moving you forward, then that's a plus. I mean, yeah, sure, you see some weird ass stuff on the internet, social media, of guys and gals doing weird stuff with the barbell, but they're using their imagination. They see it as an open invitation. Does it work? Probably a lot of it is hogwash, especially a lot for the athlete stuff, but a lot of it is an open invitation to, you're only limited by your imagination, by your creativity. Like I said, open invitation. Another way to use barbell as a landmine. You could use it as a hurdle or something to jump over. You can use it for mobility to duck under. Like I said, over. You can set up, you can do pull-ups on it, you can do rows on it, you can use it to swing over, whatever you can do. Again, that's just the barbell. Everything in the gym can be used for something that is not necessarily intended for, or what the strength and conditioning world, all these coaches that are so stuck in their ways that can't see past and don't have an imagination or don't have any creativity, that it's an open invitation, like I said, to do things different and maybe even do things better. A lot of times training gets stale, gets stuck, you get plateaus. It's about opening your mind, opening your imagination, and accepting that open invitation, whether it is a barbell, which can be used for, just the regular lifts. You can use it as lamb island. You can use it as a hurdle. You can use it to jump over, under, crawl up. You can do drop, catch, push-ups, things like that. I have videos where one of my favorite push-ups is, or pull-up variations is, you pull up on the bar, come down, and then you reach up. You have it set up a little bit below the pull-up bar, and then you drop from kind of like your rock climbing or playing on a playground or monkey bars. Dumbbells are another example. There's an open invitation right there. You don't have to just use them for curls or presses or whatever. You can use them for tons of different things. You can use them in the goblet. You can use them in different, it's just limited by your imagination. You can use plates for obviously loading, but you can use them for stepping, creating a step, jumping on, jumping off, putting them out like lily pads and jumping back and forth from each one. Again, these tools were made with an intended purpose in mind, but that's not necessarily what they have to be used for. Again, the world is full of crazy people with crazy ideas and come up with different stuff, who aren't afraid to take on and use things for different ways than what they're meant to be used, how they're meant to be used. I have the safety bar. So right down there, the safety squat bar, which is meant for squatting, but there's other ways I'll set it up on there. Maybe I can do it. Might as well show you an open invitation on that. Again, everything has more than one use. If you really are creative enough and not afraid to try things out and not just stuck in the old ways. So I'll use that for like a pad for rear foot elevated split squats, or I'll do front squats with it, and it's meant for more back squats. So you just, hopefully this works, boom, like that, nice and easy. You got a pad, rest your foot, easy way to do split squats, rear foot elevated. And as you see, that's meant for squatting, it's meant for going on your back and squatting, but it gives me an open invitation to be creative, to add more variety to my training, to make it more, functional, whatever. Again, just another example of that open invitation. But my point here is, whether it's a playground or a yard or a gym, barbells, dumbbells, med balls, plates, racks, whatever it is, start looking at it as more than just what it's meant for, what the traditional, the people who don't think deeply or have imaginations are creative, what it's for, what it's intended for. Think of stuff as, I've started to think of things as tools to help me train better. A playground, I'll go to the playground once a week at least, goof around there, pretend I'm a kid, jumping off, jumping over, jumping around, climbing up, climbing down, using stuff, like I said, the barbells, not what they're meant for, in different ways, thinking of new ways, different ways, med balls, different ways, bouncing med balls into a basketball hoop, bouncing them over a bar. I can't do it in here because there's not enough room between that and the ceiling. But again, I can use the barbell, put that up high as I can go, slam a med ball, try and bounce it over. Just another way to use stuff what it's not necessarily intended for or meant to do, the sole purpose, because there's so much more to it. There's so much more to your training if you just open up your mind again and accept that invitation. Start seeing things as an open invitation to do more, to do better, to challenge yourself, to improve yourself, and make progress. And a lot of times that's what all you need is just a little imagination. Accept that open invitation. It could be things in your house. It could be, I'm looking at my washing machine right now. I could use that to do, I don't know, planks or jump on. I probably don't have enough room, but the stairs. Think of different ways you can go up the stairs. It's not just one step after another. Just, again, it's more to get you thinking in deep and using that imagination and seeing things for what they're not necessarily intended to be used for, because there could be other ways, more creative, better ways to help you, especially in your training, but in life in general. If you think about all this times you've probably using that open invitation, whether it's cutting the grass or taking the jumping over a railing and making a shortcut or whatever it may be. You're not always using stuff as intended for, or a door. It says push, but you pull the door or whatever it may be. So there's the door with the handle where it says push, but you go to pull the door and it doesn't open, so you got to push it. So different things like that. Open invitation to do things different, to challenge yourself, to make progress, and be an athlete for life, because athlete for life means you can do all the things in life you want to do. You can move like a human being, but that means you got to think a little outside the box. If you know me, that's what I'm all about. Being creative, using your imagination, getting outside the box, and accepting that open invitation. Kind of looking at it as a blank canvas. If I see this gym, looking at it as a blank canvas and thinking all the different things I can do and the tools in it, and maybe not necessarily using them what they're specifically made for, intended for, but finding different ways to get a new stimulus, a new training stimulus, and help me make progress, help you make progress. And that's what I want you guys to think about more, is to do more thinking, more imagining, and dig into that creative side, especially when it comes to your training, and accept that open invitation to be more, be better, be you, to challenge yourself, and be an athlete for life. Guys, got questions, anything else? Let me know.